Before the video starts, I want to say shout out to whoever put this parking ticket on and actually super glued it to my window. Yeah, believe it or not, someone actually decided to super glue this to the window, and now there's loads of scratches because obviously it was really hard to get off. So now the window is actually damaged. What's going on, guys? Jack here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing the top 5 things that I hate about my Nissan GTR. Now obviously I don't actually hate 5 things about this car. I've had this car for a very long time. If I genuinely hated that many things about this car, I wouldn't really have it, or I'd be an idiot for owning it for this long. So this video is going to be 5 things that are definitely negatives, but things that I can actually live with. But if you're looking to buy a GTR, things that you might want to take on board, just so that you know what the bad things are. Now before we get into this, I already have done the 5 things that I love about this, so make sure you go and check that video out. I will leave it at the end of the video, so you can go from this video straight to that video if you want to see like a comparison of the 2 videos. So without further ado, let's get driving and start talking about these things. Car is obviously warmed up. What a way to start this video. Not exactly a bad thing about this car, is it? The performance. But yeah, one of the bad things about this car has got to be the kind of attention that it gets on the road. And I'm not talking about, you know, when you park the car up, you know, a car of this value or the way it looks is always going to get attention. But what I find is I go on a lot of small journeys. For example, I live like 5 miles away from my gym. Just on that little drive to the gym, I'll be driving very sensibly. The car wouldn't be warmed up, so I wouldn't be pushing the car at all. And some kind of boy racer will come behind me, provoke me, might flash their lights, drive really close to me or something, and it will be very annoying. So if you're looking to buy a car like this, expect to get a lot of bad attention. And you know what? What a perfect time to be speaking about this. There is someone right behind me now who loves to drive up my arse. He is literally just sat up my arse and thinks he can push me out the way even though I'm doing the speed limit. He's just gone for an overtake. It's not working, is it? Do you know what car it was? It was an Audi A3. Nothing against Audi A3s, by the way, but it's a blacked out Audi A3 with like some kind of 20 to 18-year-old who thinks they're driving a really fast car. Now usually in most situations I would just I'll just move over to the left lane and just leave it. But he's driving a TDI. It's a diesel. So anyway, bringing it back to the point, like the bad attention you get is if you're like maybe an older person wanting to buy this car and you're not really into street racing, I don't know, it's obviously the wrong term, but if you're not into like being provoked and you hate people driving a certain way around you, you're gonna hate that point about this car. But you know, it's not just to a GTR. You're gonna get this problem with any kind of exotic or nice car, basically. So literally, I'm just driving to a car park so I can film another part of this video, and some guy has literally just followed me into the car park. He's behind me now. You'll hear it. Look. Wait. There he is. Alright, so the car park I just went to was like literally full. It's usually empty, so I'm going to have to drive to another place right now. We've got a tunnel. You know what happens when we got a tunnel. Right guys, so I have now made it to a Tesco car park, not the car park I wanted to be at, but what I have done, I have found a space. I couldn't find one with a wall basically to my back as a reverse in. Now this one is going to be all to do with the reversing beepers, the sensors in this car. They're way too sensitive and it's really hard to judge where you are when you're trying to park the car, especially when it's dark. At the moment it's 2 PM, so the sun's out, I can see what I'm doing, but what I'm going to do now is demonstrate to you how the beepers work. So what happens in this car, as you reverse, you'll get a continuous beep. It'll go beep, beep, beep. As you get closer to something, it will speed up until it eventually goes beep, and that is when you're basically there, you've parked. You can't judge how close you are after that because it's continually holding a beep. Now my problem with this is the beep is way too sensitive, to the point where you can park up, get out, and you find that you're like that far away from a wall. Now I know it's a lot better for the beepers to be more sensitive than not sensitive, because obviously that would cause crashes, but when you look at other manufacturers, they seem to have it on lock. They basically have like an LED sensor where it goes from like yellow, or it goes from like green to yellow to red or something, so you can actually see how close you are, and then when you've parked, you can park like that close to something rather than that far away from something. Sometimes it's even worse. All right, so what I'm gonna do, windows down, and then I'm gonna move forwards and then go backwards until the beep is continuously held, and then we're gonna see how far away we are. So I've had to place a trolley behind me because there wasn't anywhere in this car park where it had like a solid back to where I'm reversing, because obviously that's how it detects where there's something is. It's probably not gonna be as bad as today because obviously I'm recording, but let's go forwards. All right, so there we go. And I've got another camera recording already. I don't know why my face is going like all pink and stuff, but anyway, let's reverse. Beep, 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 beep. All right, there you go. We've got a continuous beep. I haven't even looked behind me to see how close something is, but at this point, any more that you reverse, you have no idea how close you are. So let's see how far away we are from the trolley. All right guys, so this is how far away we are. I can see on the camera it doesn't look quite as bad, but when you come to the front of the car, it's a very long car. Look how far it's sticking out. This is not practical for when you're trying to park your car. Obviously it's daytime now, so the sensor is a little bit better. But when it's at night time and you can't see where you're parking, or you've got a very small car park space, this is a problem. For number 3 guys, it's going to be the actual CPU and the startup or the boot up time of the whole kind of computer system, specifically more of the sat nav. So as you guys know, like I like computers, I understand them quite well, and it's quite frustrating to start up something, and for example, when you start up your computer, if you've got a really old computer, you can't click on like you know, like the internet for like 30 seconds because it's got to load up, it's got to completely start up and boot up. That's the kind of thing you get with this car. It's not quite as instant as I would like. The 2017 GTR has solved this, but if you're looking to buy a used one, then this is a little bit of an issue. So let me give you an example. All right guys, so as you can see, the car is currently turned off. Now we're gonna give an example of how slow this is. So from the brake, push the start, and let's see how quickly it takes for the CPU to start up. So this is the complete fresh boot. We've got the GTR logo here. Obviously, like, oh, it's hard to see where I'm pressing, but if you go to the destination now, it will be quite laggy. As you can see, it's just a little bit unresponsive. I've already pressed the button, we're still waiting for it to process that button. It still hasn't done it. Sometimes it doesn't, like you can see that it's highlighted, so I've done it. I can, if I'm twist that, it doesn't move, so we're still waiting for a new address to be put in. Still going, and this is the problem. It's taking too long. For me as a computer guy, this is a problem, because all I know is it doesn't cost a lot to get a CPU upgrade or a RAM upgrade in here. Like, why is it taking so long? Like, let me put in a postcode now. Again, it was a bit laggy there. If I'm trying to type things in, it lags there as well. This is a little bit of a problem, but if you just waited an extra 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or if you started driving to a motorway you need to get onto, it's not a problem. So it's not a major problem, but it's definitely something that you guys, or I feel like you guys, should know before buying this car. Now the car's actually been on for about 2 minutes. If I actually go to put in a destination, it will do it instantly. Oh, there you go, a little bit of lag, but it does do it pretty much as quick as it needs to be now that the car has started it up and is operating normally. So although obviously the CPU does take a while to boot up, it's only really the sat nav that takes the longest and actually has a big delay. If you want to see like the temperatures of your car, you want to change maps, you want to put on the traction control, that's all instant. As soon as you start the car, you can do that instantly. Anyway, moving on to the 4th one, it's actually going to be the automatic gearbox. Although I feel like the transmission in this car is amazing, double clutch, it can be a little bit clunky at low speeds. And what I mean by clunky, it's not really like, you know, you're holding a certain speed and it's clunky. It's not like that. It's when you go from like 3rd to 2nd at like the lowest optimal RPM, it will go like you do hear it. But as long as you know it's not really an issue, you're not really causing any damage, you haven't got a broken gearbox, I can live with that. It's absolutely fine by me. But obviously if you want to pay a premium price for like a high-end supercar, luxury car, that would be a major turn off for me. Obviously I'm putting it in this top 5, so it is a bad thing. But let me give you an example of what I mean. I don't know if the mic's gonna pick it up because I don't know how loud it's going to be for the mic to pick up, but it is something that you do hear when you're sitting in the car. A passenger might hear it as well if they don't know much about the car. They go, oh, is your gearbox okay? Like even that, did you hear that? Anyway, I don't know if I should try the windows down or the windows up. If the windows up, you'll hear the clunkiness come through the car, whereas if I put the windows down, some of the background noise will come in and stop it. So we're actually still in the car park now. What I'm going to do is drive around here because it's quite low speeds around here, and you're probably going to hear some of the clunkiness. All right, so you had a little bit of like there. Right, we're in second gear now. We've got a bump coming up, so I can slow all the way down here. We're going to let it go to first. Ready? Okay, it wasn't too loud. It went a little bit. Third gear. There you go. Second gear. First gear. You can actually hear the gear changes there. I'm hoping the audio is actually picking this up, otherwise I'll just be speaking to myself. But take it from me, even if the audio isn't that loud, it's noticeable. But if you understand what's going on, as long as you understand it's not an issue, I think that pretty much everyone that owns this car can live with that. It's not a major problem for me anyway. A lot of the time, if you're playing music, you won't be able to hear it. Also, if you downshift early, you're actually going to have a little, like a blip of throttle as you downshift, which is going to cover up that noise, and you're not going to get any clunkiness at all. Another issue is actually the road noise inside the cabin, inside the car. So I've got no sound, I've got no music playing, I've got the windows fully up, but as you can hear, there is quite a lot of noise in here. We're going 66 miles an hour, and it's quite loud. Now obviously you can play music, it's going to cover it up, and a lot of people would drive this on the weekends, which means they're going to drive it in quite a fast manner, so they're going to have their windows down listening to the exhaust. Bloody hell. Also, I have upgraded, I have put bigger tyres on my car, which obviously means that it's going to be more road noise. The sun today is an absolute joke. Like it's sitting so low, so everywhere I go it's like cutting my face in half with the lighting in my car. So sorry about that, guys, but there's nothing really I can do about that. Another one is going to be actually the audio system in this car. It's a Bose audio system, which automatically, I'm not the most knowledgeable guy when it comes to audio and complete packages and stuff, but I know Bose is quite a good name. I expected a little bit better than what I do get in the car. Now obviously it's decent, it's half decent, but it's by no means the best. I'd give the rating of the sound system in this car compared to all the other factory sound systems a 6 or a 6.5 out of 10. So for a lot of people that's adequate, that's fine, they're happy with that. They'll listen to music every now and again. A lot of people in high performance cars don't even want to put the music on, they like listening to their exhaust, which is perfectly fine. Bloody hell, it is so bright today. So if you're like me and you're going to own this car and use this pretty much every day as one of your daily cars, you're more than likely going to listen to music quite a lot. So I've been thinking about upgrading my sound system, but it's right in between that stage where the sound system isn't completely crap, but it's not quite as good as I want it to be. It's like, it's at a difficult point where I'm like, do I spend a couple of grand on a sound system and not get that back when I sell the car, just so I can listen to some better music? It's a difficult one basically. So it's not quite top 5. The sound system I'd like to be a little bit better, and I expect it to be better, being that it does look good. You've got the subwoofers on the back seats there. Also, I forgot to mention this, but both my front speakers by the door, inside the door, got water inside, and they were obviously ruined, and that is a very common issue with GTRs, which isn't spoken about a lot. So that's more of not the speaker problem, but more of a door water resistance problem. Water seems to get in around where the wing mirror is, and it falls down and goes into where the door speakers are located at the bottom of the door by your feet. Now to replace both speakers, it costs about £150, and when you get them replaced, you can get upgraded speakers which are more like water resistant as well, and you shouldn't really get an issue again. Another annoying factor about this car is actually obviously more to do with the wrap itself. Nothing to really do with the GTR, is the chrome wrap. I don't know if I'll ever get chrome again, simply because of how dirty it gets, especially towards the back. If we have a look up close, You can see how dirty it looks. It doesn't look chrome right now because of how much dirt's on it. It's only been a week ago cleaned and detailed properly, and it's already filthy. As you can see here, the satin black looks a lot more clean from further away than the chrome does. You can see here on the number plate how much dirt is on there. And then there is also an issue with the boot. So let's open this up. As you can see, the boot size is huge, and this is a big good factor about this car. But the entry for the boot is rather small. I've got quite a wide angle lens, so it's not really picking it out. But if I move back, you'll see. And if you've got really big suitcases, it might be hard to fit them in here. They might actually fit once they get inside, but it's actually getting past this little, basically, hole to get inside. It can be an issue. Also, because of the layout of this, if you've got a dirty car and you need to reach something right at the back, you have to lean yourself almost on this, and you might actually get your clothes dirty because of this if you forget about how dirty the car is. Now obviously I know about this, I can reach to the back, but you know, you can be caught out. I know some of my friends, if they got something out the boot, they have got a little bit of dirt on them just because of how this is laid out. And now finally, the last thing about this car is actually the interior. Now obviously, before buying this car, before anyone buys a Nissan GTR, they know the interior is not good. So if you're buying this car and you complain about the interior, I don't know why you bought it in the first place. The interior itself, I don't mind. It's simple, it's effective, the layout of it is very understandable, but it's not as good as what I'd say the German competitors or the Italian supercars, which effectively are the cars that it's a supercar killer. And I think the fact that this car is heavy, the interior is not so good, plays into why a lot of people want to disagree with the fact that it's a supercar. Because I personally feel like it's a high-end, very high-performance sports car. If you want to call it a supercar, it doesn't bother me one bit. But you know, for some reason they get really annoyed when you call this a supercar. And obviously, what a supercar should be is quite a low and wide car, with obviously a high amount of power. I'd say at least over about 550 to 600 horsepower now in today's kind of age. So you guys now have watched the top 5 things that I don't like about this car, plus a few other things that I thought I'd let you guys know about as well. Now obviously I love this car to bits. I recommend going and watch the top 5 things I love about the car, because I do mention some other bits apart from the top 5 as well. I'll actually leave a clickable link whether you're on the phone, tablet or computer right at the end of the video. Even though it's a fairly affordable car in the whole kind of car scene, I've noticed it's still a special car to me. Even though I daily drive it, I'll still get in it and get a great feeling that I'm driving this car. But just a message for you guys that have made it this far in the video. I know you guys are my loyal subscribers that watched all of my videos to the very end. I am looking for a new car. I don't know what I want, and I don't know if I'm going to replace the GTR or I'm actually going to get a supercar and have this as the daily. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I am looking to do something.